taxes from the Predatory Lending Network. Talking to you. Now, the September unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 7.8%, and underemployment came in at 14.7%. Now, what do you think about that, Vader?
I think it's looking a little bit better. You got to go a point at a time. Things don't change overnight. Well, I do, but that's me.
Now, there were job gains in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, but little change elsewhere. Now, what do you think about that?
Oh, those are one of the most fluid businesses to be in. You know, trucking and warehousing always goes up and down, and it's a little bit seasonal too. Those other markets, they're always going to be slower to recover. You know, as the stock market has to start picking up. And once stock market starts picking up and gas starts coming down, then you'll see a little bit of movement. I'm waiting till after the election.
Now, other planets like India and China don't pay their people to be unemployed. Yet, in planet America, they borrow money from India and China to pay unemployment benefits. Planets like India and China don't pay their people to be unemployed. Yet, in planet America, they borrow money from India and China to pay unemployment benefits for people not to work. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, you got to take care of people. Otherwise, you're going to have 30 million people walking around in the street, hungry, wanting food and water for their families and a place to live for their families after their house has been foreclosed on or they've been evicted. And then what are you going to do then?
Okay, so in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Welcome to America. This is how it is, baby.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network. Talking to you. September unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 7.8%, and underemployment's at 14.7%. What do you think about that, Spidey?
What it shows is people really are not working. It's been a slight spike up, and you have to wonder how they've adjusted the numbers for this. A few temporary jobs have come into play right now, but nothing that's very significant whatsoever. And it's the underemployment rate, and that's 14% nationally. If you look at like the Hispanics and Black, it's way above that. Nothing is changing so far. I don't take it as being a good sign. I don't see it as a sign at all.
Now, there were job gains in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, but little change elsewhere. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, those are things that... Let's start over again. Read it to me again.
There were job gains in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, but little change elsewhere. What do you think about that?
I think that they're to begin with, small to mid-level jobs. They're not very high-paying jobs and everything else. So I don't think that they're really going to help the country at all. They're not growth jobs. They're not technical jobs. They're not things that people can really move up in. Whatever you get hired for at those occupations, you're going to stay at basically for the rest of your life.
Now, other planets like India and China don't pay their people to be unemployed. Yet on planet America, they borrow money from India and China to pay unemployment benefits to people that don't work. Now, what do you think about that?
Because we live on the craziest planet in the world. Because people, I have to agree with Mitt Romney, who is going to become the next president, that we're forming a culture of don't work and the government will take care of you. It's the old victim mentality. And once people today believe that by being on unemployment or SSI or the crazy money or the crazy check at $800 a month, what it says is you consign yourself to live for 200 hours a week for the rest of your life.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to say, did you see the debate? Hey, Obama, what's wrong with you, pal? You look like you wanted to run off the stage. And I tell you what, Mitt Romney, after he made that little comment about he was only going to be the president for 47% of the people or whatever it is, I thought that was the end of him. But Obama has nothing to say because for 3 years he's done nothing. So the election is very close right now.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out.
Amen.
Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, talking to you. Now, the September unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 7.8%, and underemployment came in at 14.7%. What do you think about that?
I think the problem is because of the economy, the way it is right now, with elections going on and stuff like that, and a whole bit about Romney and Obama going out for the debates and stuff like that. I think because once they find out who's going to be the real president of the United States, and everything comes back normal, and they can take care of this budget deficit that goes on with the debt sales and everything that happened in November the 21st, 2012. So I'm looking for a good turnout so the year would be better, so everything be back, and everybody, all the employees be back to work in 2013.
Now, there were job gains in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, but little changes in other sectors. What do you think about that?
Well, the healthcare problem is changing. Everybody's looking for Obamacare. They're not down with it. They don't like it so much. But Romney comes up with a different plan, but it's similar to Obamacare is. But I think the best, Obamacare is kind of good. It helps people who can't afford insurance, can't get HMO or health insurance or something. They can go get their own private insurance to get the people to come in and take care of themselves, and they have a reliable health insurance plan for their families and themselves.
Now, on other planets like India and China, they don't pay their people to be unemployed. Yet in Planet America, they borrow money from India and China to pay unemployment benefits to people who don't work. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, India and China, they mostly borrow money from the central bank, and the central bank pays them out, so they borrow money either to pay them back because their economic growth is growing real good and strong, and they got a lot of car manufacturers going on in their country and stuff like Toyota and different other places and stuff like that. So, over in India, they have the car called the India, what you call it? It's like the smart car, but it's called the nano car. The nano car is growing good population in their country. It's bringing more manufacturing, more business coming to India, so that way they can pay people, they can get more difficult. That's why they can work out their deficit like that.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yes. Hey guys, go to the poll and vote for Obama. Don't put Romney in, because he's gone dizzy. He forgot his own issues. Oh yeah.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. This is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the September unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 7.8% and underemployment at 14.7%. What do you think about that?
I really think that the employment situation in this country is absolutely still ridiculous, and it doesn't seem to be improving no matter what anybody's doing. So I'm hoping that whoever steps into office actually does make some changes. I had some faith in Obama, but like I said, nothing really changed. But then I can't really say I have much more faith in Romney about it, but the situation's ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for quite a while already.
Now, there were job gains in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, but little change elsewhere. What do you think about that?
It's because jobs aren't being created in other fields and other things like that. Obviously, healthcare is always going to be somewhere where there's going to be jobs, but other things have to be created. They have to have the need, they have to have the demand in order for people to fill the positions. If they don't create that, then we're not going to get that. So.
Now, on other planets like India and China, they don't pay their people to be unemployed. Yet in Planet America, they borrow money from India and China to pay unemployment benefits to people that don't work. What do you think about that?
That's really absolutely ludicrous, because I know that there are so many people who cheat the system and collect unemployment, and I mean, it's ridiculous. They do not. The unemployment system in this country is so not run correctly. I know people who have been living in Los Angeles for years now who are still collecting unemployment benefits from the state of New York and keep getting extensions and extensions when they haven't even lived in New York for years. I mean, who's checking on this? Where's the checks and balances? The unemployment system here is so ridiculous. No wonder our country is where it is.
So in closing, any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yeah, seriously, all this needs to be cleaned up, so I'm hoping that somebody actually comes and does it and just doesn't run their mouth about how they're going to.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out.